So it's great to meet you, Dave Breith, at last. I've been reading all about your products. A really exciting time. You launched Firexo November 2018, wasn't it? And by the sounds
Yeah,
of it,
November the 5th.
November the 5th. Oh, quite apt then for what you do.
Yeah,
You,
well, not really. We were supposed to launch October the 24th and we were a little bit late. So we decided to go November the 5th and it fitted bit better as well.
I think that forget the October part. I'd just leave it at the 5th of November. It's great. Um, but that's not. Well, it's not even 2 years, is it? It's not even 18 months, but you've expanded across the world already. You know, talk to me about the rapid and expansion plans, and those key factors of your success.
Yeah, no, so we're now in 19 countries, or we've signed 19 distribution or joint venture agreements in 19 territories now, which is really, really good. We started, obviously we launched in November the 5th, 2018. As a new startup, we had some challenges trying to get products. We didn't actually get product into the UK until the end of April, which is tough for us. But then, May, June last year, we decided a kind of a global rollout alongside rolling out in the UK. I started traveling around the world. I think I spent 120 days in hotels last year with 80 flights.
Wow.
So it was, so a lot of traveling. But the product speaks for itself. We've got a product that can extinguish all fires. And, when you're explaining the product to people just get it straight away. Because everybody kind of understands what a fire extinguisher is, and everyone knows there's different types and water, foam, CO2, and everyone pretty much knows if you use the wrong one on the wrong fire, it can have disastrous consequences. But not many people, if anybody, knows which one to use. So when you explain that product, the product sells itself. And when we're going into a new country, and we've already identified possible distribution or joint venture partners, we sit down and speak to them about it. It's kind of a no-brainer that they want the product. They want the product really, really badly. So it's product sells itself, really.
And I can completely understand that. I mean, there's something, because you've been described as an industry game changer, haven't you? A global revolution. And to me, absolutely, you see in the UK, it's the standard, it's the water, it's the foam, it's everything else. And when you're taught how to use that in industry, you think, I know exactly what that is. But you're not taught to how to use it in a panicked environment. Because to me, if you were actually in a fire, how does your brain remember which one you're using? You would reach for any just to put that fire out, wouldn't you? Whereas
yeah, you do. And depending on what size of fire you're faced with, the more panic you're probably going to get. The industry is quite archaic in the fact they believe that people should read the labelling on the extinguisher. But under duress and in front of a fire, and if you've got two extinguishers there, you didn't know, and one of them will put the fire out and one of them would make it worse. Have you really got time to read the?
It's that fight or flight, isn't it? In human nature, we have that fear. We have adrenaline which kicks in to save us. If that saber-toothed tiger was coming, we know we would have to run. If you just see fire extinguisher, you don't stop to read which one is which. I don't know. I've not been in that situation, but that's why it is a game changer, a global game changer with what you've designed. Because
one fits all. Pick it up, point, squirt, put the fire out. Yeah, and knowing you're not going to damage yourself or make it worse.
No, but that was the other thing that I read, was the fact that it's environmentally more friendly because of the natural ingredients that it uses.
Yeah, so it's biodegradable, non-toxic. It's much more environmentally friendly. I mean, if you see when we launched, we also put a fire out in front of the BBC and the BBC cameras, and we had a car fire that day, and in front of the BBC cameras we put it out in 44 seconds. And if and simple common sense sometimes just takes over. If you've got a car on fire, bellowing black smoke into the air, and fire truck turns up, and it takes an average of 9 minutes 35 seconds for a fire truck to turn up. Mm-hmm. Then they offload 1,800 litres to 2,000 litres of water on it for 45 minutes to an hour, because they have to keep dousing it with water, because water has potential to reignite. And then you've got 1,800 litres of water going onto a fire, which makes 1,000 litres of water toxic, which goes into the ground. And you've got all that time when you've got all that smoke going into the air. Versus, a 9-litre extinguisher with a Firexo puts it out in 44 seconds. And it probably doesn't even touch the ground. So.
It's what you would describe as a no-brainer, really, isn't it?
A no-brainer, yeah.
So, in the UK here, you talk about cars. It's not. I don't believe it's law that you have to carry one, do you? In a car or in a new car,
No, or in the home either. And even in small businesses, it's not as well. I think there has to be. Under the fire safety reform, there's 5 people or more in a building, then you have to have them maintained and serviced every year. Other than that, it's not a regulatory requirement for you to have one. Some countries do. Some countries that we've signed up, it's either mandatory that you have to have one in your car, or mandatory you have one in your house, or both. And it would make sense for that to be mandatory, but and a little bit by little bit, Firexo are trying to change people's attitude and trying to change the way people see things, and the regulatory requirements for that. It's going to take time, because innovation has kind of seemed to have missed this sector for like 50, 60 years, and nothing's really changed, other than the use of additional technology and better fire trucks, or use of industrial drones, or whatever it might be. But it's still the same media still being used, predominantly water.
Yeah, no, absolutely. With this, reading about it, I'm thinking this will save lives, especially if if you've got them in the home, thinking about how many house fires that we have, and the lives that are lost. So thinking, where did the idea come from? Where did Firexo start?
Yeah, so I was introduced to it as a concept back in kind of 2016, to say, this is it, this is what it looks like, and we can get it working. But the reality of it was that the people that told me about the concept were never going to get it working, and it didn't work at all. But so that's when we engaged with some clever scientists and laboratories that helped us on our way a little bit. But the rest of it was just pure hard work and trial and error.
So you're not a chemist yourself?
Never been a chemist. But I do know I know enough to be dangerous, definitely now.
Right, okay. Yeah. So, in terms of where is the company going? Is the fire industry behind you on this?
Yeah, no. You speak to anyone about the product, everyone likes it. There's obviously some big companies out there that stand a lot to lose by us being here. We call them trolls, but we just ignore troll policy. Let's just get on with it. They can be over there selling their water, selling their powder and foam. We do our thing over here, just be awesome, and just get our messages out there.
Okay, so then I guess really, what are the long-term goals and your plans? Do you look at the next year, 5 years, 10 years? Where do you see yourself?
No, so we do we've got a 10-year business plan, for sure. And, looking at on a country by country basis, and an awful lot of research goes into, and has been going into, on a country by country basis of, population, households, cars, boats, fire rescue services, affordability, And what we think we could possibly sell in those countries realistically to get our share of the market effectively. So we believe we can over time penetrate a lot of countries and a lot of territories. We signed up 19 countries in 8 months. Our business plan said we was going to sign up 6. And when we come out of the current environment, I think we'll bounce back, and I think we can sign up 50 countries in the next 2 or 3 years, easy.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Before we were introduced, I hadn't heard, but then that's because I sit here in my home office with my little home extinguisher there. But having done the research, it's a no-brainer. Why would you have anything else? And I've noticed on your website, so you do the different packages, small office, the boat, the family home, etc., etc. But you've actually gone and reached out directly to the end consumer via Amazon, one of the platforms.
In a sense, no. So when we sign on a country by country basis, we sign with a distributor, if you like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that distributor is awarded exclusivity for that territory. So in the UK, the Amazon sales and any other sales goes through our UK distributor. We just don't have the resource, or probably the money, if you like, to penetrate a territory in a country on a country by country basis. So we need to partner with someone to help us do that. Mm-hmm. And they're very good at it, and they're really good at it. They've already got an established business. They've already got warehousing. They've already got marketing resource, funds, cash to be able to promote the product alongside possibly this product plus other products that they're selling as well. And then we will help and support them in the background as the manufacturer, if you like.
Where is it manufactured?
So currently it's manufactured, all the liquid is manufactured in the UK at our facility, and all our fire extinguishers are manufactured in China. Right,
okay.
Yeah.
And that's fine. So I'm just thinking of, obviously you've got your 10-year plan of where you want it to be through a network of wholesale partnerships around with important players in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But how have you been able to build? Because this isn't something that you've done before. You're not from this industry, are you? So
no.
How have you been able to build this partnership and grow in such rapid terms from the day one?
No sleep, working 7 days a week.
Okay.
Along with a bunch of guys that I've got with me, that pretty much do the same. So everyone has worked really hard to get to where we are now. The long-term scalability of Firexo now, will see us in the next sort of 12 months coming from China and having other hubs around the world to produce our products for us as well. So we're planning that and we're on that already. But the company also continues to innovate. So we're just about to launch a new product for large-scale fires or forest fires. So that launches in July this year, which the product name is FX73. So we've done some testing on that. That's 100% environmentally friendly, fluor-free, if people understand what that means, and biodegradable, non-toxic. But the product's been specifically designed not just to put the fire out, because on impact the fire will just go out, but it also acts as a huge fire retardant. So if you surrounded a large-scale fire, it would stop it growing. Yeah. And it's also been designed with huge fertilizing capability as well. So it will bring the ground back to its natural environment quicker. And we believe that's going to be a really big product for us.
Okay. And I also read that you won an award, 2019 Innovation and Excellence Award.
Yeah, in our first year. That was good.
First year, that was fantastic.
That was good. And the people that awarded it basically phoned us up and said, well, it was a no-brainer that you were going to win, because the product is so powerful.
You're absolutely, it is. So I'm kind of thinking, where are the challenges? What do you see as your challenges ahead?
Scalability. So we're working on that now. You know, we could grow as fast as anything if we wanted to, but sometimes growing as fast from a business's cash perspective is not always the right thing to do. So we keep an eye on our cash as much as we can to make sure we don't overtrade, because overtrading is just as bad as undertrading, and just trying to make sure the business is sustainable with the growth that we have, and I suppose another challenge will be when we bounce back out of the current environment. I'm not convinced everything will just come back to normal straight away, but we've got probably 10 out of the 19 countries that are probably on stop at this moment in time. But when they bounce back, we are immediately supporting 10 new countries with product. It's going to be a lot. Plus, during this the lockdown, we are continuing to accumulate a pipeline of opportunities in other territories as well. So we probably have another 20 countries ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, like you say, then scalability and cash flow is probably the biggest challenge for you. It's not a challenge in terms of a sale, because, like I say, it really is a no-brainer. I'll be going to purchase one myself when we're off this call.
Okay.